Zambia. Let's cross now to the capital, Lusaka, where our reporter Hannane Ferdjani is standing by to talk to us. Hannane, the president hoping to be re-elected, but he faces some stiff opposition from one rival in particular. Tell us about both of those candidates.
Well, as you said, it looks like it's going to be a neck-and-neck race, a neck-and-neck duel, really, in this presidential election, with incumbent President Edgar Lungu, who's the man on the one side, who's been in power since 2015, after his predecessor at the Patriotic Front died abruptly. Since then, he's pledged to basically just rebuild Zambia, and he has this far delivered on his promise, at least on the infrastructural front. We've seen in the last few years, roads, hospitals and schools being built and sprout all over, namely the capital city of Lusaka. And that's something that he has been branding as well during his campaign. But the flip side to this really has been that the country now is in huge debt, $13 million for these various investments. And that's also what the main opposition candidate has been criticizing, and that is Hakainde Hichilema. He is the perpetual contender in this presidential race, running for the sixth time, and he has been pledging for a way to redirect investment towards sectors that actually produce revenue, that is the mining sector, the agricultural sector, because as you pointed out, a standard of living has really deteriorated in the last few years and also has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 crisis. So those are the different directions that the two main candidates are wanting to offer to the Zambian people, and 7 million people are expected to vote today.
And Hannane, we can see people gathering behind you, getting ready to cast their ballots. Talk to us about the campaign. I gather it's been quite a lively one.
It's been a lively campaign, and it's also been marked by tension. There have been reports of violence, sporadic violence, namely between supporters of the UPND, that is the opposition party that is ruled by Hakainde Hichilema, and the ruling party, the FP. And this violence left 3 people dead in the lead up to the election, which also caused for the government to basically deploy some military forces in and around pockets of the city and other provinces in the country. But beyond that tension, what we've also seen is basically the opposition just really complaining about the lack of equality in the campaign. Because of COVID-19, gatherings were forbidden, and that hasn't made it easy for them to reach out to their electorate. But beyond that, they've also basically talked about being forbidden to travel in different parts of the country, namely in the Copper Belt, where Hakainde Hichilema was hoping he could also manage to convince some voters. So what I can tell you is that so far the vote has been going smoothly, and there are still long queues outside.